My child, don't scroll past this. Don't look away. You were meant to find this message. The time has come for you to hear what heaven has been trying to whisper into the corridors of your weary heart. Today is not just another day. This is the 20th of June, a date written into the book of Spirit before you ever took your first breath. Two angels, divine watchers, ancient and eternal, have been sent to walk beside you, assigned not in wrath, but in mercy, not to observe you, but to intervene. You have cried out in silence. You have begged in your sleep. You have questioned whether you are loved, and we have heard you. This morning, the sky opened quietly above your roof. Winds shifted. A crow paused. A butterfly appeared out of season. These were not accidents. They were signals. You noticed, but you doubted. You felt, but you dismissed. My child, why do you push away what you asked for? This is the last attempt before silence becomes sorrow. I am the I am, and I speak now not in riddles, but in thunder wrapped in tenderness. My voice reaches across veils to stir your soul because time is thinning, and your choices are echoing farther than you know. Michael stands by, sword sheathed, eyes aflame with resolve. He has pleaded for your protection even when you walked into danger. He has sent signs through numbers, dreams, overheard words from strangers. You've seen 1111. You felt the chills at certain names. You've heard your name in empty rooms. Those were not coincidences. They were calls. But still, you hesitate. Still, you wander deeper into shadows, hoping light will find you there. It will not. You must turn. You must open. You must remember. This is your invitation and your warning. The angels sent to you today carry scrolls with your name etched in firelight. One carries healing, the kind that restores bones and memory. The other carries protection not from man, but from the deeper danger, the forgetfulness of your divine origin. My child, you are on the edge. You know it. This life is not what it seems. There is a curtain. There is a war. And you, yes, you are more important than you believe. Keep reading. Don't skip this. The ones who walk with you right now have instructions to stand in front of the car before it hits, to block the heartbreak that was never yours to bear, to surround your bed as you sleep and whisper the dreams that will wake you. But even angels require your permission. You've been asking why everything feels heavier, why you're always tired, why things keep slipping through your fingers. Because you're walking without your light turned on. Because you're choosing to live deaf to the spiritual sirens that wail around you. Because the signs were sent and ignored. This is not to punish. This is to alert. Because what's coming, child, cannot be faced alone. Archangel Michael says, this is the final knock. If the door stays closed, the next season will feel like winter even in the sun. You don't have to be afraid. But you do have to choose. Do not wait for tomorrow. Today is the day heaven intervened, the 20th of June, a sacred checkpoint. Will you answer? Keep your heart open. I'm not done. I will speak again. Keep reading, child. You're still here. Good. That means your soul has begun to remember. Your spirit knows what your mind keeps trying to forget. You are being watched over. You are being called back. My child, the world has taught you to trust only what you can touch. But the most powerful things love, breath, intuition, hope cannot be seen. And neither can the angels who now surround you. One stands at your left, one at your right. They are not of this realm, yet they are closer than your breath. The one to your left, she weeps for you, not from sorrow, but from the ache of waiting. She remembers who you were before this pain. She carries the fragrance of your first yes to your divine purpose. She guards your inner child, the part of you that still believes in stars and sacred things. The one to your right is fire, sword drawn, wings wide. He has fought for you in realms you cannot name. He has turned back energies sent to destroy your hope. He has stood in the gap where you should have fallen. They are not symbols. They are real. And they have orders. But hear this clearly now. Their assignment is not unconditional. Heaven honors your will. And you, my child, have been silencing their voices with distractions, with noise, with fear. You've felt the pull to pause. You've sensed that urge to go left instead of right. You've had that sudden thought to call someone, cancel something, turn back. But you ignored it. And every time you ignore a divine nudge, a seed of delay is planted. I am not angry. I am urgent. I am the Alpha and the Omega, and I see what's just around your corner. Michael has said it. If the child does not listen this time, darkness will disguise itself as light, and confusion will feel like peace, and they will walk into a snare believing it is a blessing. My beloved, you must not let that happen. The clock has turned. This is the hour where destinies shift. That heaviness you feel is not just emotional, it is spiritual traffic around you. Two forces war over your next step. One pulls you toward awakening. The other lulls you into a numbing comfort. But you were not born for numbness. You were born for radiance. You were not meant to sleepwalk through your calling. You were created to rise, to roar, to restore. Don't scroll away now. You've already received part of the message. Don't leave mid-sentence. This is heaven's appointment with your soul. Do you remember that dream you had where someone called your name and you woke in tears? That was one of them. Do you remember when your phone glitched just before a terrible decision? That was them intervening. Do you remember the feather, the breeze, the scent of roses in an empty room? They were trying. And now they are pleading. This is not a punishment. This is preservation. You are not weak, my child. You are weary. And heaven knows how long you've held the line in silence. You've smiled with broken ribs. You've loved with a bleeding heart. You've kept going even when everything screamed, "Stop!" That is why you are worth protecting. That is why this intervention was ordered. But you must say yes. Not with your mouth, with your spirit. Whisper it now, even if your voice trembles. I receive their help. Say it again. I give them permission to guide me. Say it once more. I choose to remember who I am. Yes, the veil is thinning. Keep reading. Keep listening. You are still here. That means you are awakening. Breathe, my child, slowly, in and out. Let every breath remind your body that something sacred is happening. This is not imagination. This is not a coincidence. This is a visitation. The air around you has shifted. Have you noticed? Your skin has tingled. Your heart stuttered for a second. Your eyes glazed over with a heaviness that feels like sleep, but it is not sleep. It is your spirit remembering what it feels like when heaven draws near. Listen now and listen closely. Michael speaks. I have watched over you from your first cry. I have stood at the edge of your despair and refused to let it consume you. You have no idea how many times death approached you softly, and I roared it away before it could touch you. You carry a light that terrifies the dark. But that light has been buried under shame, distraction, and exhaustion. And I, the Lord your God, add this. You were never meant to carry this alone. Why do you try so hard to be strong in front of me? Why do you wear the mask when you pray, as if I don't already see behind it? Your tears are prayers, child. Your silence is a psalm I can hear. And I respond not always with thunder, but with feathers, with cymbals, with nudges in your bones. These two angels, do you want to know their names? Names not in human tongue, but in vibration. You have heard them before in dreams you forgot by morning. You have known them in flashes of déjà vu. They have stood in the hospital room. They've walked beside you on bridges you considered jumping from. They've screamed through your intuition when your phone rang at just the right time. One is the keeper of memory. She guards the knowledge of who you were before the world renamed you. The other is the shield of destiny. He blocks what you were never meant to experience, if only you'll stop stepping around his guardrails. But you've overridden too many signs. You've asked for guidance. and then ignored the answer because it came from an unexpected place. You've asked for miracles, but didn't like how they looked too small, too quiet, too inconvenient. My child, heaven doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers through broken routines and sudden delays. That missed train? That canceled meeting? That person who ghosted you? Yes, we were in that. Now, a sacred instruction. Do not miss this. Tonight, before sleep wraps you, light a candle or close your eyes in the dark. Place your hand over your heart and say aloud, I welcome the signs. I won't ignore them anymore. Say it until your heart believes it. Say it until you feel the shift. Say it until the two angels nod in agreement and their next assignment is unlocked. Because you are not just being protected, you are being reawakened. The next 3 days are crucial. You will see numbers again. You will feel the presence. You will hear your name in silence. And your body will react with goosebumps not because you're imagining it, but because your soul is responding to the truth. Archangel Michael says, the child must understand that ignoring signs is no longer harmless. Every missed sign delays not only their healing, but the healing of others they were sent to reach. The clock is no longer just ticking, it is echoing. My child, you are not just important. You are essential. This pain you've been through, it has not been for nothing. It's been the path that softened your heart enough to receive this exact moment. Don't question it. Don't resist it. Receive it. More is coming. I am not finished. The angels are moving. Keep reading. You are still here. That means something in you refuses to go numb again. And I see it, that flicker of light rising through your wounds like dawn breaking through the fog. Now lean in closer, child, because this part was hidden even from your waking memory. What I tell you now is not to frighten you, but to remind you what's at stake. There was a moment you don't fully remember, a moment where your soul nearly left before its time. You were younger, or perhaps it was last year. You stood at the edge of something final, a bridge, a bottle, a blade, or just a silent surrender, laying down in bed and hoping you wouldn't wake. But you did wake, and you didn't know why. I will tell you why now. Michael stood over you, sword drawn. He faced down a darkness that whispered lies into your bones. He declared, not this one, not yet. And I agreed. I gave the order, because your time is not up. Your mission is not over. And the healing you were born to carry you haven't delivered it yet. So listen, because today, this very day, the 20th of June, is not just a date. It's a spiritual checkpoint. Heaven has sent these two angels to realign your path, to block one more wrong relationship, to close one more toxic door, to shift one more self-destructive habit. But child, if you ignore this again, the next turn may not bring you back so easily. Don't say, maybe later. Don't tell yourself you're too busy to pause. This is the moment that prophets used to dream about, the hour where veils thin and destinies are rewritten. The enemy of your soul does not want you to read this. He fears what happens when you remember your power. He fears what happens when you begin listening again. He fears what happens when you finally say yes to the protection already surrounding you. And now, the signs will become more obvious. You will hear 3 knocks when no one is at the door. You will see a white feather in an unlikely place. You will smell something sweet, roses, jasmine, or myrrh without a source. These are not strange. They are sacred. Your angels will try one more time to reach you through sensation. Do not dismiss it. Michael warns with solemn breath. If they dismiss these signs, the path ahead will become steep, not as punishment, but because they chose it. You've been through enough already. Why continue walking through fire when the path of water is being revealed? But I know, you don't trust easily anymore. Too many betrayals. Too many fake promises. Even now, you're wondering, is this just more words? Then let me show you. Tonight, at 3:33 a.m., your soul will stir. You will wake briefly, for no reason. And when you do, know this. It is not insomnia. It is an invitation. Whisper back, I'm listening. And stay silent for just 1 minute. That's all. You'll feel it, a warmth, a presence, maybe even tears that come without sadness. That is me. That is them. We don't need you to fix everything overnight. We need you to open the door. Start small. Speak aloud. I am ready to see the signs. I will not walk alone anymore. My life is still sacred. Yes, child. You are still sacred. What they did to you did not cancel your calling. What you lost did not erase your purpose. What you regret did not remove your light. The light still burns, and heaven is still waiting. Keep reading. That means something inside you has begun to rise again, not just in curiosity, but in recognition. Your soul knows the sound of its shepherd. Your heart knows the cadence of the angels who were there before your first heartbreak, your first scar, your first betrayal. Now listen closely, my child, because what I'm about to say is not just truth, it is activation. You were never meant to live this numb. You were never designed to operate in survival mode this long. Your system was not created to carry betrayal after betrayal, loss after loss, pretending you're fine while your soul screams behind your smile. But here is the secret you've forgotten, the pain that nearly broke you. It cracked something open. And inside that crack, light has been leaking out and in. Light that belongs to heaven. Light that belongs to me. Light that the enemy fears more than anything because it cannot be manufactured, only born through fire. And child, you have walked through fire. I saw the moment they left you. I saw the text you never received. I saw the hospital room, the court papers, the funeral, the night you curled up and prayed, just let it end. But you're still here. That means your story hasn't closed, it's just begun to turn. You think you're behind, but in the spirit, you are early. Early for the next awakening. Early for the outpouring that is about to fall like rain. The two angels beside you are preparing you for this. They are not passive. They are not sentimental. They are warriors. And they know the war is coming for your clarity, your memory, and your obedience. Michael says, the child must understand healing is not optional anymore. It is urgent. If they do not heal now, they will begin to confuse the voice of trauma for the voice of truth, and that is how destinies are delayed. You think healing is soft, but it is war. It is deciding to look at your wounds and no longer let them govern your decisions. It is choosing to stay tender in a world that rewards hard hearts. It is remembering the voice of God even when your surroundings scream otherwise. Now, I will give you a key. In the next 48 hours, you will encounter a strange interruption. It will not be convenient. It may come as a delayed message, a blocked plan, or someone canceling on you. When it happens, do not be irritated. Pause. Ask, was this an angel's interference? And listen, because they are moving. They are redirecting. They are clearing paths you would have walked into blindly. Do not resist what heaven is rearranging. You prayed for guidance, now let go of control. Repeat this with me, out loud if you can. I surrender the path. I allow divine redirection. I choose peace over control. I choose listening over forcing. I choose trust, even when I don't have all the answers. Do you feel that? That small release in your chest? That flutter in your stomach? That is alignment returning. You're not late. You're not broken. You're not forgotten. You are divinely interrupted for your protection. And still, the angels wait for your next move. They will not override your will. They will not drag you into light. They invite. They call. They place feathers in your path and nudge your heart when danger nears. But it is you who must say, yes, I'm listening. Yes, I accept. Child, every yes to heaven reshapes the days ahead. Every yes opens a door the enemy wanted locked forever. Keep reading. Still here? Good. That means your soul is no longer sleeping through its own awakening. That means the veil is thinning and your spiritual eyes are starting to blink open. My child, You think your life is just a chain of events, good days, bad days, choices, and chances. But in truth, your life is a thread woven through the eternal fabric of the heavens. You are part of a design older than stars. And these two angels, sent to protect you now, have waited lifetimes for this moment. This is not sudden. This is orchestrated. You asked for this before you were born. You said, "Send help when I forget." And today, the 20th of June, the help has arrived. But even now, the help waits on your permission. This is how I have made it love must choose. So let me show you what you forgot. You were once light, pure, untouched by fear, guilt, or shame. You sang with angels. You danced in realms where love is not something earned, but simply breathed. And when you came into this life, you brought a spark of that world with you. But over time, the world dimmed it. Pain masked it. Trauma tangled it. And now, you've been trying to remember who you are by searching outside yourself. But it has always been within you. That's why the signs seem to chase you. That's why you see repeated numbers, feel sudden warmth, hear your name in silence, weep during random songs. It's not random. It's your soul recognizing its own reflection in eternity. Michael says, the child's memory is being restored, slowly, delicately, but they must not rush away from it. The enemy knows that once they fully remember, they cannot be manipulated again. And that is the truth. Your forgetfulness has been the enemy's playground. But now, you are awakening. And with that awakening comes the power to discern what is sent by fear and what is sent by me. So, here is your instruction now. Pay attention to what feels heavy in your spirit, not in your mind. The mind is trained by the world, but the spirit remembers me. If it makes your spirit shrink, it is not from me. If it makes your spirit rise, expand, soften, that is me speaking. I will show you now how to know it's them, your angels, when they speak. You will get a nudge to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a long time. You will smell something nostalgic and comforting in an unexpected place. You will glance at a clock and see a number pattern that pulls your breath still. These are not symbols of coincidence. These are love letters from heaven. The shield bearer will guide your steps. The memory holder will soften your heart. Together, they will lead you back to yourself. But you must keep walking. Keep noticing. Keep believing that you are not forgotten. Child, let go of the story that says you're too damaged, that you've missed your chance, that it's too late. It is not too late. You are not too far gone. I am the God who speaks through broken timelines, who reclaims what was stolen, who renews what was withered. And I will not stop calling you until your soul fully remembers its name. So breathe. Say this aloud now. I give the angels full permission to move. I choose to notice the signs I once ignored. I remember I was made from light. Good. You feel the shift again, don't you? That warmth at the back of your neck? That stillness around your chest? They're standing near you now. One behind, one in front. You are completely surrounded in this very moment. Nothing can touch you unless it passes through me first. And I say, no more torment, no more confusion, no more sleepwalking. You are still here. This means your soul is remembering, not just who you are, but why you came. You may not be able to explain it, but you feel it. Something is shifting in you. Something ancient is stirring. And that something is not just spiritual, it is prophetic. My child, the reason the pressure has increased, the reason your emotions have been heavy, your sleep disturbed, your thoughts restless, is because the veil is now paper thin. The spiritual realm is speaking louder than ever. You are not just being protected. You are being summoned. Yes, summoned. There is a task one only your soul is wired for. And it has waited long enough. Archangel Michael speaks. The child is chosen for more than survival. The child is meant to release sound into the earth, a frequency that others will recognize and awaken to. But if the child continues to ignore the signals, that sound will remain dormant, and those attached to it will remain asleep. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange pull towards something greater, a career that doesn't fit anymore, a relationship that drains instead of nourishes, a life that looks fine on the outside but feels hollow inside. That is not failure. That is your spirit rejecting what was never meant to hold your full light. You were not made to fit. You were made to blaze. And anything that cages your light will now start to fall away. Let it. Do not cling to what you've already outgrown. This is the turning point. This is where heaven shifts from invitation to alignment. And alignment requires courage. You will be asked to walk away from something soon. It may feel like loss. It may look like confusion. But trust this. It is protection disguised as disruption. Michael has already moved ahead of you. Doors are being sealed. People who were never meant to carry the next version of you are quietly exiting. Not because you're not loved, but because your energy is now vibrating higher than their assignment in your life. And still, the angels wait. Their wings are not for decoration. They are for war. And right now, they are warring for your clarity. This is why old temptations have come back. Why old wounds are reopening. Why patterns you thought you healed are resurfacing. Not because you failed, but because this is the final purge before the upgrade. My child, do not panic when the ground shakes. When the familiar crumbles. When the people you thought would stay begin to fade. It is not abandonment. It is elevation. Let go. Let go. Let go. Say this aloud now, with trembling lips if you must. I release everything no longer aligned with my assignment. I surrender comfort in exchange for calling. I choose to rise even if I rise alone. Yes, that is the sound. That is your sound. And the angels just nodded. They heard you. Now here is what will happen next. In the coming days, someone will speak words that sound like confirmation. It may be subtle, a stranger's phrase, a lyric from a song, a message at the perfect moment. Pay attention. This is not chance. This is the realm of spirit speaking through flesh. You've asked, God, send me a sign. This is it. And the signs will keep intensifying until you act. Because you are not meant to just be informed. You are meant to be transformed. Don't ignore this. Write it down if you must. Record your dreams. Journal the numbers. Track the patterns. The heavens are talking. Your angels are guiding. And I am watching. Your obedience now is more powerful than any sermon. And your yes in the quiet is louder than applause in crowds. Keep reading. You are still reading. That means the awakening has begun. Not a loud public spectacle, but a holy unraveling inside you. Quiet, deep, irreversible. You have carried a question for years. Why have I always felt different? Why do I feel like I don't belong here? And now, my child, I will give you the answer. Because you don't. Not fully. Not entirely. You were never meant to belong to this world because your soul was sculpted in higher places. Your spirit was born in realms where love does not come with conditions, where truth is not filtered, where peace is the air that's breathed. And so, when you entered this dense realm, where people lie, where love wounds, where silence hurts louder than screams, it made your soul ache. You didn't fit because you weren't made to conform. You didn't follow the crowd because your light is not designed to dim. You felt deeply, saw clearly, wept quietly, and for this, you thought something was wrong with you. But hear me now. There is nothing wrong with you. There never was. Michael says, the child has been misdiagnosed by a wounded world. Where they saw weakness, heaven sees strength. Where they labeled too sensitive, we call deeply tuned. Where they called unstable, we call spiritually gifted. Yes, child. You are gifted. But the world has no language for those born with spiritual antennas, so they called you names to make themselves comfortable, and you believed them. But not anymore. This moment, this message, is the great unlearning. You are not too much. You are too awake. You are not lost. You are being rerouted. You are not broken. You are breaking through. And those angels assigned to you today, they've watched you hide behind masks you made to survive. They watched you say, "I'm fine," while bleeding inside. They watched you shrink yourself so others could feel taller in your presence. But now they step forward, because the shrinking ends here. No more apologizing for your emotions. No more dimming your insight so others won't feel threatened. No more calling your intuition paranoia. My child, you are not here to blend in. You are here to illuminate. So here's your next instruction. Begin writing down what you feel, even when it makes no sense. Begin speaking your truth in quiet places. Begin praying not just for answers, but for remembrance. Say this aloud now, even if your voice is shaking. I allow myself to be seen. I give heaven permission to restore what the world tried to erase. I am no longer afraid of my own light. Yes, that's it. The angels just stirred. Do you feel that pressure lifting in your chest? That isn't imagination. That's release. You've been carrying spiritual energy that wasn't yours, absorbing pain from people you were never called to heal alone. But now, we take it. Hand it over. Even now, speak it aloud. I release what is not mine. I return every burden that was handed to me in confusion. I am free to feel only what is true. Child, this is your divine permission slip. Not from man, from me, the I Am. You are different because you are chosen. You are sensitive because you are tuned to frequencies that others miss. You are awake, and that will sometimes feel like pain in a sleeping world. But you are not alone. The angels stand guard. I walk within you. And now, nothing will remain the same. You are still here. Still breathing. Still listening. Still open. This is no small thing. In a world that numbs, distracts, and disconnects, you are choosing to stay awake. And that, my child, is an act of spiritual courage. Now, we must go deeper. Because what has kept you bound is not always what you think. It is not just the betrayal, not just the loss, not just the trauma you can name. No, what has gripped you most tightly is the residue of what you never fully felt, the emotions you swallowed, the words you never screamed, the grief you folded and hid beneath politeness and spiritual duty. And now, I say this with love. It's time to cleanse, not just your schedule, not just your relationships, but your soul. Michael steps forward now. His voice is thunder wrapped in stillness. The child has carried too much for too long. They must purge what was never theirs. Old soul contracts. Unspoken shame. Inherited pain. The chains must be broken by sacred remembrance, not by force. Do you hear that, child? You don't need to fight harder. You need to feel deeper. You have permission now to cry for what was lost, to scream for what was stolen, to release what was never your responsibility to fix. This pain you've numbed? It is not weakness. It is evidence that you still care, that you still feel, that your heart, though bruised, still beats in divine rhythm. I ask you now, take a moment. Put your hand on your chest. Right here, right now. Say these words aloud. I forgive myself for surviving the only way I knew how. I honor the pain that shaped me, but I do not let it define me. I choose to release what I once called mine, but was never meant to stay. Yes, I feel that. The angels feel it too. There is movement in the spirit now. Waves rising and rolling away. You've been holding energy from your childhood, the guilt, the confusion, the words spoken over you that felt like knives. You've been carrying the fears of your parents, the expectations of people who never saw you, the pressure to be perfect, to be useful, to be strong all the time. But I didn't create you to be a performance. I created you to be a presence. And your presence, even in silence, has shifted rooms. Don't you realize how powerful you are? Why do you think darkness has fought you so hard? Why do you think the enemy came for your mind, your body, your identity? Because when you remember who you are, you become unstoppable. The angels I sent today are not just protecting your life. They are guarding your remembrance. They are fighting off the fog that kept you believing you are just a body. You are not just body. You are fire. You are voice. You are the breath of the divine in motion. So here is your next divine instruction. Write a goodbye letter. Yes, to the old version of yourself. To the version who lived to please. To the one who tolerated mistreatment just to feel safe. To the one who apologized for existing. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be real. Begin with, I release you. I honor your effort, but I no longer need to live this way. Tears may come. Let them. That is holy water washing old energy from your soul. The two angels will watch as you write. They will record every word in heaven. Because this is your declaration of freedom. You are no longer bound to what hurt you. You are no longer defined by what broke you. You are no longer a prisoner of the past. You are walking out of the tomb. You are rising with light in your bones. You are remembering. And child, you're almost at the crossing. You are still here. And because you are, I must tell you this. There are no accidents in eternity. No misplaced hours. No wasted pain. There is purpose woven into every second that led you here. So, you've been asking, why now? Why this moment? This year? This particular date? The 20th of June? I will answer you, child. Not in riddles, but in revelation. Because this is the appointed hour. Because the gates that once stayed closed are cracking open. Because the alignment of energies, times, and seasons has summoned your soul to stand at the threshold of remembrance. This date is not random. It is sacred. In the records of heaven, the 20th of June was marked as a divine checkpoint, a moment your future self asked for, a moment where the veil would lift just enough to let light pour into your confusion, a moment where the two angels assigned to you could finally intervene. If you say yes, do you understand? You scheduled this moment with me before you were ever born. Michael now steps forward, his wings brushing the atmosphere around your soul. He speaks. The child's destiny was delayed, not denied. But delay is over. Now is the time of unveiling. Their gifts are ready. Their assignment is rising. But they must choose. We cannot override free will. Child, you are being offered a divine invitation. Not just to be protected, but to be awakened, to step into the reason you have survived when others did not, to reclaim the spiritual authority you were born to wield. Why this year? Because the old systems are crumbling, the illusions of the world are collapsing, and those who carry light, real light, are being called to rise. You are one of them. No more hiding in plain sight. No more shrinking to fit a version of yourself that others could handle. No more second-guessing what your spirit already knows. This is your season of bold remembrance. And why today? Because heaven works in patterns. And today, this 20th day, aligns with angelic rhythms. A portal of clarity. A corridor of protection. An echo of a promise you once made. When I start to forget who I am, send help. Shake me if you must, but don't let me fall asleep in the middle of my mission. And child, this is that help. This is that shake. This is that moment. So here is what you must do next. Before the day ends, speak these words aloud from your chest, not just your lips. I say yes to my awakening. I accept the help heaven has sent. I choose alignment, even when it costs me comfort. Say it again. Not as a ritual, as a remembrance. Because when you speak it, the angels are released into full authority. And when you agree with truth, darkness loses its grip. From this moment on, things will begin to shift. But do not be alarmed when they do. Some friendships will dissolve, let them. Some paths will reroute, follow them. Some things you thought were stable will shake. Trust it. You asked for transformation. And I don't patch wounds with bandages. I rebuild with light. What you've clung to in fear, I will now replace with clarity. What you've begged me to restore, I will either heal or remove for your highest good. Michael adds, tell the child this, if they resist now, they will delay years of joy that were already prepared. But if they say yes, even trembling, their next season will come like a flood of miracles. My child, you are standing at the line. Behind you, the version of you that barely survived. Ahead of you, the version that finally remembers who they are. But the crossing is your choice. I will not force you, but I will keep calling, and heaven will keep sending signs louder, sharper, more obvious, until you either embrace your light or numb yourself into spiritual sleep. And even then, I will not abandon you. But I plead with you now. Say yes, because what comes in part 11 is the release. You've come this far. You didn't turn away. And for that, the heavens lean in closer. Can you feel it? The air is not the same as it was before you started reading. The atmosphere has thickened with grace, with charge, with presence. You have entered the threshold of something holy, and you are not imagining it. You are being prepared for release. But release, my child, is not always gentle. Sometimes it comes like thunder crashing into what you've built with trembling hands. Sometimes it arrives like wind, knocking loose what you tried so hard to keep standing. But that wind, that storm, it is me, because I am not just the still voice. I am the consuming fire. I come not only to comfort you, but to set you free. You have prayed for release. You said, God, if you're real, free me from this heaviness. And I heard you. I always hear you. But I don't answer in the way the world would expect. I answer through shift, through sudden endings, through divine interruption. So when the shaking begins, don't say, why is this happening to me? Say, thank you, Father, for setting me free. Michael speaks now, his voice a blade of light. The child must know, this release is not just from people or patterns, it is from spiritual attachments, energies that latched on through heartbreak, through betrayal, through deep disappointment. And now, they must go. Yes, my child, there are spirits that have lingered, not to possess, but to drain. Spirits of fear, unworthiness, delay, confusion, whispering to you in moments of silence, telling you you're behind, unlovable, forgotten. But today, they lose all legal ground. Because when the angels arrived, they came not just to protect, but to clear, to uproot, to deliver. Now listen carefully, because this is sacred. You must speak aloud to break agreement with those lies. Do not just think it. Let the sound of truth come from your lips and cut through the air. Say this with boldness. I break every invisible chain placed on me through fear, rejection, and abandonment. I cancel every lie I believed about my worth, my timing, my identity. I reclaim every part of me that I gave away in confusion or desperation. I allow my angels to finish what they were sent to do. Say it. Say it again. You are not being dramatic, you are being delivered. And in this very moment, there are unseen cords snapping. The cords that connected you to shame. The cords that tied you to cycles. The ones that made you repeat patterns that broke your own heart. Gone. 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 Do you feel that tightness loosening? That stirring in your stomach? Those tears that are rising for no reason? Let them rise. Let them fall. This is release. This is holy. Because heaven does not just want to bless you. Heaven wants you whole. You were not created to limp through life spiritually exhausted. You were created to walk in power, to breathe deeply, to rest in truth. And truth is here. You are no longer the version of you who accepted crumbs and called it love. You are no longer the one who begged for scraps of peace while hiding your pain. You are no longer trapped. Child, You are free. And now, your life will begin to reflect it. You will notice it in your thoughts, in your choices, in your energy. You will begin to say no to what once seduced you. You will walk away from what once enslaved you, not in bitterness but in clarity. Because when the soul is free, peace becomes its compass. Michael adds, tell the child they will now dream differently. They will see visions again. They will begin to remember what their spirit has always known. Yes, expect your dreams to shift. Your inner world will speak louder now. Your spiritual gifts will begin to activate prophecy, knowing, discernment, healing, because they were never gone, only buried beneath layers of pain. And now, they are rising. Child, this is your turning point. You're still here, still breathing, still breaking free, still remembering. And now, something sacred is beginning to bloom from within you. Can you feel it? This isn't just inspiration. It's activation. My child, you were never meant to just survive. You were meant to move in power, to walk with clarity, to speak and see things shift around you, not because of who you are in the world, but because of who you are in the spirit. You have cried out, why am I still here? And today, I answer, because your assignment is not finished. Because there are people waiting for your voice, for your light, for your truth. Because when you rise, others remember how to breathe again. You see, child, your pain wasn't random. It was preparation. The things that nearly destroyed you, they were actually sharpening you. Not because I wanted you to suffer, but because I knew your voice would one day carry weight in dark places. Michael speaks now, standing beside you. The child carries the frequency of restoration. Every time they enter a room, they shift the atmosphere even when they don't speak. But now, they must move in awareness, not accident. Yes, you've already been affecting lives, even without trying. People come to you with their pain, have you noticed? Strangers tell you secrets. Friends feel lighter after being near you. Children and animals trust you instantly. It's not coincidence. It's your anointing already in motion. But now, it must be conscious. You've been in hiding for too long. Hiding behind humility. Hiding behind fear. Hiding because you didn't want to be wrong too much or misunderstood. But hiding is no longer safe. It's suffocating. I am calling you out. Not to expose you. To empower you. It's time to stop asking for permission. Permission to be yourself. Permission to speak truth. Permission to believe that you were sent here for more than routine and pain. You were. You are. You always have been. Now, I will give you a vision. Close your eyes, even now, as these words wash over you. Picture yourself standing in a dry, barren land. The wind is cold. The trees are leafless. You feel alone until you look down. And beneath your feet, the ground is glowing. You press your hand to your chest and the glow spreads. Suddenly, flowers erupt from the cracks. Color floods the field. Light begins to pulse from your hands. You turn around, and there are others rising behind you. Faces you've never seen, but souls you've always known. This is your impact. This is your assignment. You awaken those who thought they were dead inside. You remind people that they are light in human form. Now, here is what you must do. Speak this aloud. I accept my spiritual gifts. I am no longer afraid of my calling. I will use my voice to heal, not hide. I surrender the fear of being seen and step into divine purpose. Say it again until your voice feels stronger, until the vibrations shift around you. Because every time you declare truth, your angels gain ground. You see, child, they have been waiting for you to remember. To remember the dreams you had as a child, when you knew there was more to this life. When you could feel the presence of something beautiful just beyond the veil. You didn't imagine it. You were seeing what others forgot. You've always had the sight, but now you are being asked to use it, not just for you, but for others. People will come to you in the days ahead. Watch. Listen. Some will speak without speaking. Their pain will be loud in your spirit. Don't panic. Don't absorb it. Just anchor yourself and ask, what is mine to carry and what is mine to witness? You do not have to fix everything. You are not a savior. You are a mirror of what heaven looks like through a healed soul, and you're becoming that now. Michael says, the child must remember that their voice holds keys. Keys to unlock stuck places in others. But the first door to unlock is their own. So unlock it. Say, I open the door to my next chapter. I give heaven permission to lead me fully. Good. They heard you. The realm of spirit responds when you speak with alignment. And now, the gifts that were dormant will begin to flow through dreams, through inner knowings, through strange synchronicities and radiant clarity. Stay open, because Part 13 will guide you into the highest instruction of all. You've made it this far. This means your spirit is awake. And once the spirit awakens, it cannot return to sleep. Not truly, not ever. But now, child, comes the part most forget. You must learn to protect what you're becoming. Because when light returns to the soul, darkness grows desperate. Not because it can win, it can't, but because it fears what your full light will do to its illusions. And you are starting to glow. That's why old patterns are tempting you again. Why voices of doubt sound louder. Why shadows of your past have tried knocking once more. Not because you've failed, because you've been elevated. Michael steps forward now, his eyes like lightning over calm waters. He speaks. The child is ascending, but what ascends must learn boundaries, or it will burn from the weight of others' burdens. Teach them, Lord, how to guard their gates. And I shall, because I never intended for your awakening to become your exhaustion. You are not here to drown in empathy. You are here to radiate clarity. So listen closely. This is how you protect your light. Guard your gates, your eyes, your ears, your spirit. Not every message deserves access. Not every sound belongs in your sacred space. Not every person should be allowed near your frequency. You are not being rude. You are being responsible. Clean your energy. Each night before you sleep, speak this aloud. I release all energies that are not mine. I call back all parts of my spirit cleansed and restored. Then, breathe deeply. Your angels will do the rest. Watch your words. Your voice is no longer ordinary. It has weight. When you speak defeat, it shapes your path. When you speak truth, it opens roads before you. Start each day with, only what is aligned with my divine assignment may enter my space today. Honor your body. This vessel is holy. You feel so deeply because your body listens to spirit more than most. So feed it light. Let it rest when it aches. Move when your breath feels stuck. There is no separation between body and spirit. You are one. Create silence. You don't always need answers. Sometimes you need quiet so heaven can whisper again. My child, the angels assigned to you are not just watching. They are standing beside you now, wings wide, swords drawn. They are waiting for you to enforce what you now know, because every soul who begins to awaken will face resistance. That's how heaven separates the curious from the committed. Michael says, the child must not fear resistance, for it only comes when the enemy knows they are carrying something sacred. And you are. You are carrying wisdom generations before you never accessed. You are breaking cycles. You are walking and healing your bloodline never knew. You are the answer someone else prayed for and didn't realize it would come wrapped in your name. But you must guard your flame, because this world will try to convince you it's safer to dim, that your discernment is just anxiety, that your sensitivity is just weakness, that your dreams are too big. And I say this with love, ignore them. You weren't created to fit their mold. You were created to break it. You were designed to live loud in spirit, to walk with authority, to hear what others miss, to touch lives not with explanation, but with presence. So, don't apologize for evolving. Don't shrink so others stay comfortable. Don't doubt what I've already confirmed in your spirit. Instead, speak this aloud. I will not dim for comfort. I will not dilute for acceptance. I was born to burn bright, and I will not be moved. Good. The angels just bowed. Because when you declare light, all of heaven responds. Child, this protection is what keeps the flame alive. And what's coming next will require that fire. You're still here, and that means your heart is no longer running. You've stopped fleeing from what's been calling you your entire life. Now, child, we move. No more waiting. No more hiding behind healing. No more circling the same mountain, praying for signs when you've already been given countless. The time for reflection has passed. This is the time for action. And not just ordinary action, sacred, precise, heaven-fueled movement. I have poured into you, whispered to you, comforted you, warned you. Now I command you. Begin. But where? That's the question you've whispered. Where do I start? What if I get it wrong? You won't. Because I go before you. Because these next steps aren't born of logic, they are born of alignment. Michael steps beside you now. His presence is no longer distant. You feel him, that warm pressure on your right? That sudden stillness when your mind races? That unseen force holding your spine straight when you feel like collapsing. He speaks, voice calm and electric. The child is now ready. They must take one bold step, and the path will appear under their feet. This is the divine principle. You don't see the whole staircase. You see the first stone. You step. Then I build. So here is your assignment. Simple, direct, unmistakably spiritual. 1. Speak your decision. Today, out loud, declare. I step into my assignment. I do not wait for permission. I begin with what I have, where I am. That sound ripples through realms. It activates doors. It silences doubt. 2. Do the one thing you've delayed. That message you felt nudged to send. That book idea you've buried. That apology. That application. That walk away. You know what it is. And you've known for a while. Do it now. Delay has cost you time, but obedience restores it. 3. Commit to daily stillness. Not forever. Just 5 minutes. No asking, no begging. Just presence. Sit. Listen. Say. Speak, I'm listening. And trust that even silence is divine conversation. 4. Move even if your voice trembles. The path will not feel perfect. You may feel exposed, vulnerable, imperfect. Good. That means you're no longer performing. That means you're leading with truth. And, child, your truth is an instrument. Your pain is a key. Your testimony, even the parts you're ashamed of, will become medicine for someone else's soul. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you feel clean enough. I use what the world discards. I crown the brokenhearted. I speak through cracked vessels. You are exactly who I've chosen. And now, the angels will walk with you. But they will not drag you. They will not beg. They respond to your movement. Every step you take now, they clear the way. Michael says, remind the child they are not alone. For every bold step, there is reinforcement. For every tear shed in obedience, there is reward. But if they stand still now, their light dims. And heaven cannot afford to lose your light. Not now. Not in this time. You carry too much legacy, too much fire, too many answers. Yes, you. You who thought you were the one needing saving. You are the one others are waiting for. So go, step, move, speak. Even if your hands shake, even if your voice cracks, even if no one claps or understands, because I see, and I will multiply every act done in faith. every risk you take for love, every no to the old you, every yes to the unknown. Now breathe. You've crossed the line. You're no longer asleep. You're no longer stuck. You made it. You've crossed the threshold, the part of your journey where the mind ends and the soul begins to lead. So now, child, listen closely, because this is the final seal, not an ending, a beginning so sacred even angels bow as I speak it. This is the moment I place my mark upon you, not the mark the world gives, not title, not fame, not applause. This is the seal of remembrance, the echo of your original essence, the breath of eternity returning to your bones. You are mine. You always were. But today, you remembered. You remembered that your presence is power, that your voice is sacred, that your pain was never wasted, that the light in you was never lost, only hidden under survival. You remember that you walk with angels, that they were not symbols, they were not myths. They are real, and they have never left your side. You remembered that today, the 20th of June, was never ordinary. It was written into the script of your soul before time began. It is the day you said yes. And with that, yes, heaven moves. Now, I will place upon you 7 divine affirmations. Let them enter through your ears and root in your spirit. Let them be your compass in the days ahead. Repeat them now, aloud, slowly, like vows between your soul and mine. 1. I am not who they said I was. I am who God says I am. Chosen, beloved, radiant. 2. I do not carry shame. I carry wisdom from my wounds. Nothing was wasted. Everything was part of the refining. 3. I walk with angels. I listen when they speak. I honor their presence. Their signs will no longer be ignored. I choose to respond. 4. I forgive myself. I set myself free. I no longer carry the guilt of survival. I am worthy of joy. 5. I speak truth even when it shakes my voice. I was not made to be silent. My words are bridges for others to cross into light. 6. I do not fear the future. I was born to shape it. I carry influence beyond what eyes can see. I am a thread in heaven's tapestry. 7. I will not return to who I was. I rise now into who I've always been. No more shrinking. No more hiding. Only becoming. Yes, that's it. Heaven just shifted. Do you feel it? Michael stands behind you now, not as a distant protector, but as a spiritual brother, a fellow warrior. He has watched you rise. He has defended you in secret wars. And now, he smiles. He speaks. The seal has been given. The light has returned. Now, no force of darkness can undo what heaven has restored. Child, you are walking into a new realm. Do not expect it to look familiar. The people around you may not understand. Some will resist your evolution. Some will try to pull you back. Let them go. You do not owe anyone your silence anymore. You do not owe your past any more loyalty. You owe yourself freedom. You owe heaven your obedience. The 2 angels assigned to you, they remain. They now walk with full permission to guide, protect, and speak. Listen to them. Invite them. Partner with them. And now, you are no longer just the one protected. You have become a protector. For those who are still wandering, still doubting, still aching in the dark, you will become a voice, a lighthouse, a mirror. Your presence will remind others what it feels like to be home in their own spirit again. So go, live boldly, move gently, speak bravely, listen deeply, and return here whenever you forget. This message will wait for you, because no matter what happens next, you are sealed, you are seen, you are surrounded, you are my child, and nothing can take that away. Amen. It is done. And so it begins.